Greetings, maniacs, New Englanders, and everyone else tuning in. If you've been following along, then you know that we're digging into Maine's ballot this November, and we've been working through each question individually and in depth. Today we find ourselves on Maine ballot question 4. To just get right into it, do you want to require vehicle manufacturers to standardize onboard diagnostic systems and provide remote access to those systems and mechanical data to owners and independent repair facilities? So right off the cuff, my initial interpretation of that is if you personally own the vehicle, you've bought it outright, there's no lease, there's no loan, there's no money exchange needed, the deed is in your hand. Same thing with cell phones. If the deed of the phone is in your hands and Verizon or whoever does not own it because you're paying a monthly subscription to that service, then I think absolutely you should have the right to repair. That being said, I can understand why companies that are in good favor renting you a service, renting you a car, essentially. If you still haven't paid it outright, you're just renting it until you finally have paid it off and then you own it. So until you own it, I can see the argument being that you don't have the right to repair, that you have to do things their way. But if you own it, it is yours, you have the deed, you should absolutely have the right to repair. That's my opinion. Maybe I should have shared my opinion at the end and not at the beginning. These are my videos, so I guess that's how it is, but I'll keep that in mind. So this initiative for automated right to repair I found valid with 74,686 signatures. Back in February 21st, 2023. So that's, people have been trying to do this for a while, and finally this February they got it to go through, and now we're voting on it this November. So starting from Ballotpedia, because like I've said in the other videos, it's just a very straightforward way to start. Main question 4, the right to repair law, vehicle data access requirement initiative, is on the Maine ballot as an initiated state statute November 7th. A yes vote supports requiring motor vehicle manufacturers to standardize onboard vehicle diagnostics and make access to vehicle systems available to owners and third-party independent shops for repairs. A no vote opposes requiring motor vehicle manufacturers to standardize onboard vehicle diagnostic and make access to vehicle systems available to owners and third-party independent shops for repairs. So an overview. What would this initiative do regarding right to repair in Maine? An automotive right to repair law is legislation designed to ensure that vehicle owners and independent repair shops have access to the necessary information, tools, and software needed to repair and maintain vehicles. These laws require manufacturers to provide the same diagnostics and repair information to vehicle owners and independent repair businesses that authorized dealerships receive. They also seek to prevent manufacturers from mandating the use of exclusive tools or software. This initiative would provide for motor vehicle owners and independent repair facilities in Maine to have access to the vehicle onboard diagnostic systems. It would establish an independent entity to administer access to vehicle-generated data, as well as ensure that access to this data is secure and develop policies related to the access of this data. The initiative would provide that manufacturers would be required to equip vehicles that use telematics system with an owner-authorized access platform and require this platform to send commands to in-vehicle components for purposes of manufacturing, for maintenance, diagnostics, and repair. As of October 2023, 4 states, California, Colorado, New York, and Minnesota, have enacted right to repair legislation. The right to repair laws in California, Minnesota, and New York pertain to electronic and digital equipment, while the right to repair law in Colorado pertains to agricultural equipment. All very good things, I think. Have other states voted on the right to repair laws? Massachusetts is the only state where voters approved the right to repair law. In 2012, voters approved Question 1, which required automobile manufacturers to provide non-proprietary diagnostics directly to consumers and safety information needed to repair their automobiles. And in 2020, voters approved Question 1, which required manufacturers that sell motor vehicles equipped with telematics systems to install a standardized open data platform, beginning with model year 2022. Good job, Massachusetts. Who are the campaigns in support of the initiative? The Maine Automotive Right to Repair Committee is leading the campaign in support of the initiative. The committee reported $4.39 million in contributions and $3.23 million in expenditures, according to campaign finance records, up to September 30th, 2023, in support of the initiative. Kate Kahn, spokesperson for the Maine Right to Repair Coalition, said this issue is about choice. Consumers want the ability to choose where to take their cars and trucks to be repaired. They do not want to be told they can only take their autos to expensive dealerships. The automakers and repairers for vehicle repair choice is the campaign registered in opposition to the initiative. The committee reported $111,543 in contributions and $102,047 in expenditures, according to campaign finance records, up to September 30th, 2023. In opposition to the initiative, the Alliance for Automotive Initiative said, Mainers already can have their car repaired by any repair shop they choose, and all the information needed to diagnose and repair a vehicle today is also already made available to all vehicle repair shops. That was once again Ballotpedia. So I might not read that one just because their advertisements are so large, and because I'm sitting back, I'm zooming in, and because I did that, it's a very small window to read. It's by Penobscot Bay Pilot, Maine's Auto Right to Repair Ballot Initiative, part of National Movement, by Emmett Gartner of the Maine Monitor. I guess it's just reposted by Penobscot Bay Pilot. A citizen initiative on Maine's November ballot brings the state into a national right to repair movement that backers say helps give consumers more control over how and who can fix the products they buy. Proponents say right to repair legislation levels the playing field and allows buyers more options in how they fix their products by allowing consumers the same ability to maintain their products as the manufacturers that make them. The movement includes legislation enacted by Colorado in 2023 that requires agricultural equipment manufacturers to provide customers with the resources necessary to repair their purchases, and a similar law pertaining to electronic equipment in New York. In Maine, Question 4 applies those core tenets to the automotive industry, where cars are increasingly reliant on computerized systems that track vehicle movements, performance, and diagnostic mechanical issues. But as those initiatives race forward, independent auto repair shop owners say they have been left behind. They say those systems share data wirelessly with manufacturers, but not owners and repair shops, hindering local mechanics' ability to diagnose maintenance issues and consumers' ability to choose who should make repairs. The push behind Question 4 looks to open up this data to repair a car owner alike by requiring car manufacturers to share access to computerized systems known as telematics and diagnostics tools. Conversely, opponents say that the access is already available to independent repairers. Creating a standardized access platform for vehicle computer systems will create cybersecurity risks. The question asked, do you want to require vehicle manufacturers to standardize onboard diagnostic systems and provide remote access to those systems and mechanical data to owners and independent repair facilities? If approved, the initiative would then require Maine's Attorney General to establish an independent entity of auto repair and car manufacturer representatives to streamline data access through a standardized authorization process. The Maine initiative was spurred by a group of independent auto repair shop owners and other right-to-repair proponents through a citizen's petition of over 70,000 signatures presented to the Maine Secretary of State's office this winter. According to the group, the Maine Right to Repair Coalition, a vast majority of new vehicles, 90%, are now built with systems that send repair information wirelessly to manufacturers. Car owners and independent repair shops are excluded from the wireless link, which limits the agency of car owners and repair shops, says coalition leader Tim Winkler, CEO of VIP Tire and Service in Auburn. Vehicle owners should be able to take their car or truck wherever they want or repair or fix it themselves, not be forced to go to more expensive dealerships, Winkler said in 2023 press release from the coalition. For Eric Lowell, owner of Duval's Service Center in South Portland, the appeal of Question 4 is simple. Customers spend hefty amounts on their cars and deserve the ability to repair them where they choose. The car's the second largest purchase that most people make behind a home, Lowell said, so why should they be restricted on whom they can do it with? Propped up in the window of his shop's waiting room is a sign showing his support for Question 4, a topic he's happy to discuss with any customer who walks in. So it does go on. I'm not going to read it all. It is kind of annoying to read it on this site that I am currently looking at it. But also, to me, it seems pretty straightforward. I'll include these links. People that are interested in reading more will be able to do so, and I encourage you to. I do want to cut this one kind of short where I can, just because I'm spending so much time on Question 3. So this one to me seems pretty straightforward. I'll just name the articles that I pulled up. Spectrum News. Maine Ballot Question 4 pits automakers against local car repair shops. Okay, this one's short. I'll read it. The way Dan Brooks sees it, small auto repair shops in Maine will struggle to fix new cars in the future, particularly as the push towards electric vehicles accelerates. That's why he's supporting Question 4 on November 7th ballot, the so-called Right to Repair initiative that would require vehicle manufacturers to standardize diagnostic systems and share that information with repair shops. The idea is to ensure that vehicles can be fixed outside of a dealership if a consumer wants to make that choice. If you buy a car, you shouldn't be restricted on where you get your car fixed, said Brooks, owner of Capital Car Care in Augusta. But a group representing most vehicle manufacturers says small repair shops already have the information they need to make repairs. They think the groups behind Question 4 are after customer data because they want to market directly to consumers, even going as far as advertising on the screen inside your car. We've said from the beginning the information they are talking about is not necessary to complete a repair, said Wayne Weichel, Vice President of State Affairs for the Alliance of Automotive Innovation. Voters in November will be left to decide whether existing agreements about information needed to make repairs are enough to help independent repair shops in the future. It's one of the 4 citizen initiatives and 4 constitutional amendments on the ballot. Campaign finance reports show the Maine Automotive Right to Repair Committee has received nearly $4.4 million to push for passage of the ballot question. Of that, $1.3 million comes from the Coalition for Automotive Repair Equality, which works in state legislatures and Congress to advance the interests of automotive aftermarket companies such as Napa, AutoZone, Advanced Auto Parts, and O'Reilly Auto Parts. On the other side, Weichel's groups, which represents manufacturers who produce most of the vehicles sold in the U.S., including GM, Ford, and Toyota, has contributed just $110,000 in opposition. Weichel argues that Question 4, which follows a similar push in Massachusetts, is unnecessary because automakers have entered into 4 separate agreements in which they pledge to provide shops with the information they need to make repairs. That includes a new agreement signed this summer by the Alliance and the Automotive Service Association and the Society of Collision Repair Specialists. The agreement states that automakers shall make available for purchase the same diagnostics and repair information that's made available to dealers. That includes information about electric and hybrid vehicles. In addition, the automakers agreed to provide specific telematic diagnostic and repair data when it's needed to fix a vehicle. Telematics refers to information transmitted from a vehicle to the manufacturer and information sent from the manufacturer to the vehicle. It closes the loophole if it's needed for repair, Weichel said. We have closed that loophole 4 times now. Brooks says those agreements are fine, but if one party is not living up to these obligations, he has nowhere to run. There's really is no way to enforce it, he said. Just this summer, Brooks spent weeks trying to get access to computer technology needed to fix a vehicle. He was told the program worked fine for dealerships, but for shops like his technology was, quote, broken. Eventually, a subcontractor who specializes in helping with vehicle computer programming bought a new $2,000 adapter so he could get access to the technology. If their dealerships were down, that wouldn't have lasted a month, Brooks said. So it has affected us in the past, and I think it's only going to get worse. That's because electric vehicles don't have the same types of ports near the steering wheel that allow shops like Brooks to hook up and diagnose problems. The vote in Maine follows a years-long legal battle in Massachusetts that began when voters were overwhelmingly supported a right to repair initiative in 2020. After a lot of back and forth, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration in August came out in support of the Massachusetts approach to right to repair. Initially, the federal government had expressed concerns about the security of providing remote access to vehicle data, fearing cybersecurity risks, but it came on board with the idea once it learned that the data could be sent from close range via Bluetooth. Limiting the geographical range of access would significantly reduce the risk that malicious actors could exploit vulnerabilities at a scale to access multiple vehicles, including, importantly, when the vehicles are driven on a roadway, wrote NTSB's Carrie Koldzic, Assistant Chief Counsel. The prospect of a cybersecurity risk is also one emphasized by the automakers who say the current telematic system provides one hardened connection to the outside world. Criminals could not exploit each of these digital connections between the vehicle and the independent repair shop to not only access the vehicle's data, but to hack into the vehicle or embed malicious code. The Automotive Alliance writes in a memo about the ballot question. Brooks said he has no interest in gaining access to driver data. He just wants assurances that he and other independent repair shops can stay in business now and in the future. That seems like a fair and legitimate fear. I personally want to make sure that I can get into people's vehicles and service them, or really, quite honestly, my business goes away, he said. And I don't think he's wrong. I mean, they're already experiencing this, and they've expressed how electric vehicles are different and how we're pushing electric vehicles, even though our grid is not set up for it, even though we're not ready for it, they're pushing it. Well, Governor Mills and others are pushing it, but I think as we come to realize we're not quite ready yet. It's a lofty goal, it's a great goal, but it's lofty, and we're not ready. And so we need to do what we can with what we have. So I'm going to share another article. This one's by Maine Public. This one's by Steve Missler. What is right to repair, and why are we Maine voters being asked to weigh in on it? I'll share that link down below. And then also Maine Election Guide, What to Know Before Heading to the Polls, WMTW, by Raquel Chiampi. So you can read about those on your own. I'll include the links for it in the video. I need to step away from these lights for a minute. I have some new lights. Well, they're not new. I've had them, but I'm repurposing them for a new purpose, and they're kind of blinding me. I need to go add some eye drops. My eyes are feeling scratchy. But thank you for tuning in. This has been question 4. Once again, it says, do you want to require vehicle manufacturers to standardize onboard diagnostic systems and provide remote access to those systems and mechanical data to owners and independent repair facilities? I'll include all the links that I had down below. I hope you enjoyed listening to this. I would love to hear your feedback, so go ahead, leave some comments down below. I'll also leave some videos here for you to check out, some other ones. I've heavily focused on the ballot since it's coming right up, but I have also posted a couple other me news for me, which is something that I'm going to focus more on after the elections. It's just kind of digging into everyday problems here in the state of Maine, reading them as an average Mainer for average Mainers, and I look forward to getting back to that. But for now, I'm going to continue recording independently, studying each question, and once that happens, November 7th will happen, and then it's up to the Maine voter, and then what happens, happens. That is how democracy works, whether it's what you like or not. The population votes, and then what happens, happens. That being said, I do think that there's been a lot of push to get a certain agenda across, because there are millions of dollars being pushed to sway us individual Mainers in a particular direction. So I guess I've felt that somewhat, and I felt called to go against the stream just because I feel it's so heavily in one direction, and anytime I'm told to look to the right, I instinctively wonder what's to the left. So while everyone's focused to the right, I'm going to check to the left. And once again, thank you for joining me on this video. If you've made it this far, you're incredible. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Y'all have a great day.